Is the balance of power between manufacturers and consumers about to change? This is Switzer Network News.
We want to empower the public with much greater information and transparency than they've ever had before, and allow them to get the information they want about products and companies when they're out making decisions. So we basically have this idea to deliver information on the environmental, social, and health performance of products and companies right at the moment when a person is making a decision. And so right now we're focused on consumers and delivering this information in their hand when they're in a store or online when they're shopping, and really giving them radically more information than they've ever had before about the full impacts of the products that they're choosing. So the idea is basically pull together the best available science in the world, provide a comprehensive, credible data source on products and companies, and then allow people to personalize it so that they can find products that match their values, their health concerns, their environmental concerns, their social concerns, and really empower them to vote with their dollars and to make decisions in the marketplace that they feel good about, and ultimately do that in a way that incentivizes firms to produce products with less toxics, less climate impacts from their supply chains, less sweatshops, whatever the issue is for consumers. Our goal is, through this big effort to provide transparency in the marketplace, to ultimately shift the market towards better products, better companies, better supply chains. What has changed over the last 3 or 4 years really is a revolution in the marketplace, in that consumers can walk into a store with a smartphone and literally have a PhD in their pocket, have access to information on supply chains, on where products came from, on life cycle assessments of products, on NGO assessments of labor rights in those supply chains, on basically full information. And what we're seeing is really a transition in the marketplace where consumers are moving from being marketed to being empowered with information that would allow them to find out much more. Marketing as we know it and advertising as we know it is probably going to either go away or change significantly, where companies aren't going to be able to just market you. And particularly for young consumers that are coming into the store, skeptical at best, cynical more likely, they're just not going to believe the claims of manufacturers about how new and improved and healthy these products are. We've seen very fast movement of mainstream consumers looking for safer, healthier products and saying, whoa, wait a second. How is it that I've got a t-shirt or a pair of jeans for $7? How can it be that cheap? Where'd it come from? What are the real impacts of this thing? I like cheap, I like high quality, low price, but increasingly they're also asking questions about kind of what's behind the price, what's behind the label, what's behind this marketing that I'm looking at, to really know the full impacts on me, on my community, on my environment. We've basically seen this kind of 3 big shifts that have allowed GoodGuide, this experiment, to happen. First is this growth in consumer demand for this information, a growing number of consumers wanting to buy safe, healthy, green products. That's undeniable, and we're seeing that all across the market. And you know, the clearest, I think, indication of that is when we started this project, I kind of thought of it as the Whole Foods community or crowd. It moved from Whole Foods to Trader Joe's, from Trader Joe's to Costco, from Costco to Safeway. And now Walmart is the leading retailer in the world focused on sustainability. Walmart is saying they're going to provide sustainable products, 100% renewable energy for their stores, zero waste from their stores. So this has moved from, I think, low-cost lifestyles of health and sustainability, elite consumers, to mainstream shoppers looking for safe, healthy, and socially responsible products. That's trend number 1. That's been huge. Trend number 2 for us is the science has improved over the last decade to allow us to do supply chain assessments and life cycle assessments of products, so we can actually understand better where things come from, how they're made, what their overall impacts are. And so the science of sustainability has improved. And number 3, the whole science and technology of information delivery has radically transformed literally over the last 2 years with the iPhone app and Android, and basically open platforms that allow us to get this information out to consumers right at the moment when they're making decisions. We have a really interesting demographic on our use of our website and our iPhone. And it goes from some college students that are really kind of tech savvy and are out and are scanning every barcode they look at, and they've got iPhone and Android. But then we have a lot of users that are in the kind of 50 to 65 category that are super focused on health, that are really now thinking about the healthfulness of the products that are buying, that are in a position, they're better educated, higher income, they do research, they go into the store with a shopping list before they buy, they're not impulse shoppers. So we have a broad cross-section on age-wise. In general, we skew women more than men, and new moms are kind of off the charts for us. So we have a broad section, and as I said, kind of every consumer cares about healthy and safe products. So we have users in all 50 states. Texas is our number 3 user base. So it's not just California and Cambridge, it's all over. We have people in 150 countries around the world using GoodGuide. So it's broad and growing. Basically the barcode and the standard industry system that classifies products, so that when you walk into a Target or a Kmart or a Safeway, the register knows that that's a 12-ounce bottle of Pantene. That's really helped us as a backbone for tracking products and allowing us to connect up with this base of information and then supplement it with all the detailed information of what are the ingredients, which ones are toxics, what are the environmental impacts of the manufacturing, what came out of the factory that produced it, do they test on animals, how they pay their workers, are there women on their board of directors, all that other world of information we then connect up and aggregate, weight, and then turn into ratings that make something actually useful to a consumer. The vast majority of consumers want advice. They don't want a research project, they don't want to read hundreds of data points, they don't want a manuscript. They basically want to be in the store. They spend about 20 to 25 seconds making a decision about a product, and they need simple advice that helps them either confirm a decision or find an alternative to a product they're looking at. So we've been working to simplify the information that goes to the consumer. Right now what we're doing is rolling all of this information up into a 10-point scale. And on the product they get a score of 0 through 10, 10 being the best, 0 the worst. Underneath that we give a health score, again 0 through 10, an environment score, and a social score. So for consumers who only care about how healthy the product is for me consuming it, they can just look to the health score. For consumers that really care about the animal rights, they can filter just for the animal rights. Down below that, we have somewhere between 200 and 1,500 criteria performance by which we rate a product and a company. So in the back end of our database, we have 1,500 criteria that go from animal testing to carbon emitted to toxics release inventory data to whatever. So for a consumer who really wants to know, they can drill all the way down into the individual data points and look at how the company or product performs on those. Most consumers don't want that level of detail. They might actually look at that the first time they come on GoodGuide just to make sure that we're not making it up. There's real science, there's real data. But ultimately what they want is simple advice when they're making decisions. I'm always excited about where we're going next. We're really moving forward towards this from a research tool to an instant advice tool. So just an example, the next version of our iPhone app will enable location-based information. So an iPhone has a GPS in it. We can know, if you'll let us know, where you're standing. So literally, you can say, okay, Dara just checked in at the Safeway in downtown San Francisco. We know what Safeway sells, we know what Dara cares about. Here's instant advice on the products in this store that match Dara's values. So rather than me scanning products or doing searches, it's Dara's now in the cleaning aisle. Here's the best product for Dara in that aisle. And so we're basically combining this location-based information with personalized filters to deliver instant advice while you're standing in the aisle. And there's all sorts of really neat things that where the mobile space is moving, where it's not going to be online at home doing research, it's going to be instant in your hand in the store, anything you'd want to know. Second big step is really connecting with your social network. We want to enable so that I can say, here's the scientists assessed. This team of scientists and this network of scientists have assessed this, but friend approved. So here's a product that your friends actually like. It works, it smells nice, whatever, it's cool, and then scientifically assessed. And enabling the kind of connection between our work on the science side with your social network. People still get the majority of their product recommendations from their friends and family. So enabling that combination, really exciting. And we're doing a lot of integration with Facebook and social networking, and there's lots of exciting things that we're doing on that side that I think, again, is just going to radically change how people interact with products and companies, what information they can get, and really how they can participate in the marketplace. So it goes from companies marketing you to you telling them what you want, and you making demands in the marketplace and saying, okay, I want this shampoo, but I want it without these chemicals in it. Or I want this cereal, but I want it without so much sugar and no high fructose corn syrup. And consumers making demands in the marketplace, sending signals right from their phone or wherever they are, that I think really has the potential to shift the balance of power in the marketplace from companies telling you what to think and what to buy to us aggregating our preferences and me and my friends making demands on these companies saying, we want healthier, safer, greener products. Build them, make them, we'll buy them, and really shifting the whole game.
For more information about this topic, please visit our website. This is Switzer Network News.